This podcast is incredibly unstructured. I have gone out of my way to deter any, like, effort at putting structure into this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed.
No, we've noticed.
Partially why I keep it unstructured. I think that in some ways it allows for a bit more freedom when it comes to editing. And the other reason is laziness. We tend to not introduce ourselves. We don't even introduce the podcast.
We probably should. You'd think that none of us knew it was a podcast. You think that Zach was just like in the corner hiding behind his amps, just like recording us while we're like just hanging out.
And somehow they're ending up on YouTube.
I know.
No idea.
He's not
how
even
that's
editing
happening.
them.
We have a SoundCloud account. Who did that? But we have an actual name for the podcast now. We've had a few names that we were trying out, and we had one that we really thought was going to stick for a while. And we're not going to get into what all those names were, and we're not going to get into the specifics of why they didn't work out. We're just going to give a sort of general explanation for why those names didn't work out, which is that they all turned out to be reference to, let's say, adult media.
It was so bad that at one point we considered our new name being Accidental Innuendo. We just decided to lean into it.
Yeah. Because apparently we just can't avoid this.
Our names were perfectly innocent, we promise, but apparently not.
And I'm still thinking that this one might also fall into that trope of accidental innuendo. But we're just gonna.
I hope not.
I hope not, because I like the name of our podcast now. We're calling ourselves Princess in Another Podcast.
Yes.
And we're committed to it.
We really like it.
We really like it. We really do not want to have to change our name again. So
it was so much hassle. I had to make a whole new logo. And this one was really high maintenance. I mean, there was Princess in the title.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that was a coincidence.
I can't tell whether you're being facetious or not.
Honestly, I don't know. This is one of those jokes that kind of got away from me, and I'm just like saying it, and my brain's going, what are you getting at? And I'm going, I don't know.
Anyway, this is Princess in Another Podcast. I'm Ailsa.
And I'm Erin.
And I'm Jensen.
And we are the Three Amigos.
It's like, where are you going with this? Are we supposed to say something? Did we decide this beforehand?
We discussed this earlier after our 5th rehearsal.
We never rehearsed anything in our lives. Oh, bathroom break already?
No, I need to blow my nose.
Okay.
We've expelled all the snot from Erin's face. Tell us about the games you're playing.
Okay, so I finished 3 games since we last met.
Dang.
Yes. All of them I was partway through. So first I finished Far Cry 5. That was a really good time. The only problem with it is that Joseph Seed makes my blood pressure rise. He's such an annoying character. He's a good villain in that way, but he's the kind of villain that just really grinds my gears. And the last bit of the game is just an extended interaction with him because you're fighting him and then spoilers. So I finished the game definitely with my blood pressure a lot higher than I had planned or would have liked, but all in all I really liked the game. It was a good time.
Like, it kind of took you to that really, really high point and then just kind of left you there.
And it was
So
one
you
of
were
those
nice and
times
frustrated at the end.
I was talking with Ailsa after I beat this game. I find that when I beat a game, I'm in either one of 2 moods. Either I'm starving now because I've just been through this really busy thing, or I feel slightly sick and I can't possibly eat because either I was crying through the whole ending, or my blood pressure was high, or it was just like a really crazy ending. And that one was definitely one where I couldn't eat. I felt sick afterwards. And I just sat there watching the credits like, okay, I need to calm down. But I'm excited for New Dawn. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it picks up like a couple years after that one. So, yeah. And then I finished God of War. Of course, it was great. I can't wait for them to make more of those.
Yes.
And I hope that the photo mode is just as fun and beautiful as it was before. Then I went ahead and played Ratchet and Clank. I've been wanting to play Ratchet and Clank since I was really little. I played it on a demo back when demos came in like discs, and I really wanted it, but I had no money. But I got it for free on PS Plus, so I got to play it, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And it was nice that you got it for free because once again,
I have no money. I am again at another point in my life when I have no money. Anyway, now I'm focusing on finishing Vampire, or as some people call it, Vampire. I like to call it Vampire because that's how it looks like it is supposed to be said. I know that that's how they pronounce it in the game. They call them vampires.
did you ever go through a vampire phase?
Of course. You're my sister. Why didn't you notice?
I don't know.
Just freaking obsessed with vampires.
I don't know.
I've always wanted. That's why I always wanted a vampire game where you get to like really be a vampire, and it's not just like Skyrim vampires who you get ugly.
I didn't notice your vampire phase because I was too busy going through my vampire phase where I like wanted to date a vampire. Erin, what about you? Did you ever have a vampire phase?
It was called junior high.
Zach remembers.
So mean. You didn't even know me.
I thought you guys met when you were like 13.
No, he was 14.
That's still junior high.
Well, he was in junior high. I was a sophomore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like 16.
I always forget that he's just really tall.
Yeah.
I know. It's not actually older than us.
Yeah.
He's just very tall.
I'll be happy to hear that because everyone says he looks like he's 16 years old.
Except that he's 7 feet tall.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, exactly. It's sad. He had to stop trick-or-treating at a young age.
Oh,
because people didn't believe that he was a child.
jerks.
They were such jerks. They're like, what are you doing here? It's like,
Aww.
I'm a kid too.
Poor Zach.
Oh. I still gave
real
teenagers candy when they came around. I chastised them for interrupting me while I was watching Teen Titans, but I still gave them candy.
Vampire phase. Probably when I was reading Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twilight was such a time and a place.
It was. What a time to be alive.
And then I'm planning to play some Nancy Drew afterwards. So yeah, I'm excited. Been watching our mom playing Nancy Drew. She beat Haunting of Castle Malloy, and now she's playing Labyrinth of Lies, and I'm starting to get jealous. So I'm gonna play some Nancy Drew.
Erin, what are you playing right now?
Just beat Uncharted 4 and did a terrible review video.
It wasn't terrible. Though you did use all of like the pictures that I didn't mean to give you. Like every picture you used, not everyone. There were a couple that I was like, that's a picture that it was really good. But like the first one you used, I was like, I didn't know that was on there. And then the next one you used, I was like, that one wasn't supposed to be on there. And then you used another, I was like, no, these are all the ones I didn't want her to use.
I think things got mixed up and mixed around because there were videos missing on the flash drive, and I was really upset because I wanted to use them. But anyway, if you want to watch a subpar Uncharted review, go find it on Writer's Brook. Anyway, it was my first
subpar.
video. I only had 2 days to do it, so
It's fine. I would say it's good if you hadn't used the pictures I didn't want you to use, but
Jensen is a little bit too harsh.
I'm just embarrassed because I didn't. Those ones were pictures that I took before I knew how to use photo mode.
yeah.
And I was not planning to send them to you. I don't know how you got them. Stop hacking my PlayStation, Erin.
I'm sorry. I just love
Taking
you
all my
so
shameful
much.
pictures that I can't delete because I have a problem, and I look at anything that I'm thinking of deleting and going, wait, what if I need it?
Yes, but anyway, yeah, I beat Uncharted 4 and it's so fun. I love it, and yeah, you can listen to me gush about it on my review, but I love him and Elena. They're adorable. So I started playing, I bought the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection because I haven't played any of the other ones. So yeah, I'm going through that and it's really fun. Still Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is a great game. It's beautiful. I love swimming in the ocean and playing dress up. But I also have been getting burned out a lot because there's so many forts in like every area you go to, and you have to level up and you have to do the forts, and I get impatient and just want to kill everyone, but then my bounty skyrockets and it's like, yeah, so I'm taking a break from that. I started Red Dead Redemption 2. It starts off kind of slow, so I haven't gone back to it yet, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I'm pretty excited for it. So, yeah, those are the things I'm playing now.
Excellent. Nice. Ailsa, what are you playing?
I'm still working on my mountainous backlog, but I did take some time this last week to beat you at Super Smash Bros. A few times.
Yeah.
Which was real satisfying.
Ailsa is the chosen one of Smash Brothers. We have found her. She hasn't played a Smash Bros. Game since 64, and then she only played it like once at a birthday party. But she kept destroying all of us, and it was really embarrassing.
I just think that's a really, really fun game. I think the controls are very intuitive. I had a lot of fun switching between a lot of different characters. I love playing as Bayonetta. She like obeys your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
She's practically broken.
I know. Well, that was why I just played with her the one time.
Yeah.
Because I just really wanted to play with Bayonetta because I love that game and I love the character. And yeah, I can see why people say she's broken.
Yeah.
Because like she really does. It's like she just does what I want her to do always.
Yeah.
There's never any kind of a moment of confusion or what was that. It's like she just obeys my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. I mean I just played with her the one time because I was like, okay, this isn't fair. And
Which is precisely why I'm not saying, it was just a lucky shot. Because if you'd played as Bayonetta the whole time, I'd be like, you're not the chosen one of Smash. You're just playing with a broken character. But you changed characters every single game and you still destroyed us every time. You were either the last one standing or the second to last one standing every single game.
okay, she's exaggerating. Actually, you're not.
I'm
That's
not.
true.
No,
I'm
really
not.
not. I can only think of like one time where it ended up with Zach and James playing at the end, and you weren't there.
That was like one of the first games.
Yeah, that was like the first or second game. I think that was when you were playing as Bayonetta.
It might have been. Anyway, I love that game. I get what all the hype is about. I mean, I had fond memories of playing it when I was a kid, but I've always kind of avoided it because in my mind, it's like, that's a birthday party game. And the last time that I was invited over for a sleepover, and I mean like, a proper sleepover, not like a weird one. Like, I'm talking about, I just haven't played these kinds of games in a long time. So, I don't know. I wanted to try it because I've heard really good things and because it just looks so beautiful and it looks so fun and all the different levels were amazing. I do have a problem with fall death, which I think everybody...
That's a consistent problem for you across all games.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive to Smash.
That's a perfect way to put that. It's a consistent problem for me across all games.
Like, I've never seen someone have so many fall deaths. Like, you... In every game I've ever seen you play, if you can die from falling, you've done it several times.
Every single match where I was second was because I fell like 3 times in a row.
And like in Dark Souls, it's so funny to see you like just carving your way through these levels and you're just fine. You like haven't even died forever. You've just been human for the longest time, and then you just like turn weird and step right over a cliff.
Like Peter falling down the stairs.
Yes, exactly. That's Ailsa playing video games.
That is the right way to play Dark Souls.
I know.
Just to fall to your death.
It's the only way to play it.
Specifically to fall to your death by accident because you're trying to step forward and you accidentally step backwards off a cliff. I've done that so many times. But yeah, I did have, I'm gonna have to get Smash Bros for myself and not just leech off of other people's systems. And then, I'm sure that I'll get my ass handed to me once I play against people online or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, no offense. I'm sure you guys are great, but, like...
Well, I'm sure Zach and James are great.
Yeah,
I know
actually,
I'm not. Yeah,
you were great with Star Fox.
I know. That was weird. I've never played as him before.
Maybe you should play as him more.
I know. The only time I beat you was as Fox.
Yeah. Anyway, aside from that, like I said, I'm still just working my way through the long list of games that I'm trying to beat. But I also experimented a little and decided to support Netflix in their bid to enter the gaming industry. I don't really think that's what it is.
No.
At all. So Netflix has shown Black Mirror, the television series, for a few years. And Black Mirror is fine. I like it. I don't rave about it the way that some people do. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Black Mirror. I think some episodes are great and I think some episodes are stupid. And I kind of think that generally it's just kind of a fun show, and the message always kind of seems to be, oh my gosh, what if technology is evil? And you can tolerate that, or you can have fun with that every once in a while, but as a premise for every single short story that they've ever put to cinema, it's a little bit.
I mean, the answer usually just comes down to, kinda.
But anyway, so they did Bandersnatch, and Bandersnatch is an FMV. And I didn't realize this. Like, I saw a trailer for it, and I thought, oh, a Black Mirror movie. That looks fun. I've kind of enjoyed Black Mirror, and this one looks interesting, and there's 80s music. I'll probably mildly like that. And it's an FMV. It, like, you can use your controller. You can, if you're watching Netflix on your game system, then you just use the actual game controller, I would assume. And it asks you questions, roughly. I don't remember how many questions there were. I probably should have looked it up. But it felt like it was questions once every, 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe there was, a gap in there that was a little longer at one point or another. But it felt pretty frequent that it would ask you questions. And a lot of them are really stupid and inconsequential. In fact, they're all kind of stupid and inconsequential. I don't know how much it changes the story, and they kind of try to present it in a way where they're like, but there is no free will. Like, choice is an illusion, and it's fun, but it's really hokey. And I kept comparing it in my head to Doki Doki Literature Club, which I played last year, which also has that kind of a message of, free will is an illusion. The difference is that Doki Doki Literature Club carries it off in a way where it's very, very effective existential horror. And in Bandersnatch, it just feels kind of silly. But it was still a lot of fun. I got the joke ending first, and I imagine a lot of people will probably get the joke ending first.
Mm-hmm. I believe that one is the canon one.
Yeah. Although,
because I think it's fun.
Although the second ending that I got, I actually thought was very emotionally effective, but that might just be because it had that song, Superman, that I love so much.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the artist. Is it Anderson?
I don't know.
She has an incredibly normal name. It might be Julie Anderson or something like that.
It's a super weird song. Her dad loves it.
I'm going to look it up really fast.
I think he had a portion of it as our answering machine for a little while.
Yeah.
Because there's a portion of the song where it's an answering machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I swear he made that our answering machine for a little bit.
Laurie Anderson. I was close.
Yeah.
Okay, so the song's called Superman by Laurie Anderson, and it's been one of my favorite songs for years from that era. And yeah, the entire contrivance is it's like a message on an answering machine. Mm-hmm. And so Dad used it as our answering machine for a while. Yeah. Which was cute.
It was a fun time.
And I got that ending as my secondary ending after the initial joke one, which was where my answers led. And I actually thought that was a good ending to the movie, except for the last little bit. And I don't want to spoil it.
I realized what they were doing. I'll try to say this without spoiling.
Yeah.
But I realized they were trying to get the same kind of feeling as the end of a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Maybe that makes for a better transition to the possibility of watching the other endings. Yeah. But to me, if you wanted to actually end that story, you don't end it there. You end it you end it 30 seconds earlier before you see that last little bit where he's sitting in the chair, because that was stupid. But it was funny to me because I was doing that thing that I do sometime where I'm watching a movie and it's actually really affecting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, end it right here. And I tend to even do the chop motion when I'm alone because I'm a dork. And I'm like, right there, cut to credits. And they never do, except Green Room did. Green Room did. Yeah. And Bandersnatch almost did, except for this final scene. And I was just like, oh, dang it. Like, I wish that they had cut off that last part because that was nice. Laurie, why do I keep calling her Julie? I'm sorry, Laurie. Your name is Julie. Your name is Laurie. Laurie Anderson's Superman, and that final shot of him with his stuffed animal and his mom, and that was all I needed. Like, I wish they'd just ended it there.
Yeah.
That would have been decent. Yeah. That would have been my favorite ending. The rest of them were stupid. Like, I literally thought every other ending was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But that one was good.
I like the joke one the most.
The joke one's pretty great.
I mean, not as like an actual ending. I think that
that's the thing is I don't.
The one that you got, I really really like, but I just think that one's funny. Imagining it as the canon ending, like if you imagine Silent Hill's real ending is the one where he finds
with
the dog.
Exactly.
Like it's just.
It's a
fun idea.
It's a good video game joke ending, and I'm glad that I got it as my first one because it made me laugh.
Yeah.
But as far as if I was actually trying to end that story that Bandersnatch was telling, definitely that nice Superman ending.
Yeah.
I would have gone for that one, but without the silly Twilight Zone bit.
Yeah.
So that was my experience with video games. All right, Erin. Pitch a video game that you would like to play right now.
This is really girly and fantastical of me, but I really just want to play as a mermaid, you guys. I want to be a beautiful mermaid with a seashell bra and long, luscious, flowing hair that looks perfect in water, and maybe some hydrokinesis action randomly, and I want some nice romance options with swole mermen.
Nice.
Very nice.
I think that sounds amazing, but it also kind of reminds me of how I was playing Minecraft today, because I somehow, like, I don't know what happened, but my guy can stay underwater forever now.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I am a beautiful mer bunny, because I look like a giant rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just swimming underwater.
I was hoping you were going to say
great.
they updated Minecraft and they included swole mermen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
That's what Minecraft needs.
Swole mermen.
Erin, I think that RPG sounds great.
Yeah.
Mermaid RPG.
Yeah.
Wait, can I choose to be a merman? A mermaid?
Yes.
No. Merman? Can I choose to be a merman? Merman.
Yes.
And I can romance hot mermaid ladies?
Yes.
That sounds fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I want to do that.
And the underwater world will be so beautiful, and yeah, it'll be perfect.
Did you decide this because of watching Aquaman?
Partially, but also because
Watching Harry Potter?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, how you can swim underwater. You told me that I can get that trident and be able to breathe underwater, which is fantastic.
Oh, I was supposed to show you where it is. I just sailed my ship over there and avoided all enemies as best as I could just by running from them.
Uh-huh.
And then I just went and got it. There's no, I don't even remember any enemies on the island.
Uh-huh.
And then I could just swim wherever I wanted.
Yay!
It was the greatest.
Yes, that's beautiful.
It's a good decision.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But also I want to be a mermaid and be like at home in the water, and just the whole game is underwater.
So I have a love of children's media that is too scary for children. Like, there's a very specific type of scary stuff for children that, like, adults complain about, and I don't feel like we've gotten enough of it in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, like, excited when I heard people complaining that the house with the clock in its walls, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard some parents being like, that's too scary for kids. And I was like, oh, finally. Like, I don't know, I just have this, like, deep, abiding love for that sort of media. So the game that I would pitch would fall into this genre. And it's a game where you play as an adorable little bunny rabbit, which is the guardian of the cemetery where he lives, and he's bouncing around. Or it's a bunny, who cares? The bun bounces around in the cemetery and meets with all of the spirits and helps them with their unfinished business. And it would be a cute little, like, RPG where you play as a bunny. And I just want this game, but I specifically want this game to be, like, legitimately creepy.
I like that.
It sounds adorable, but also really creepy.
I want it.
Yeah.
I was dreaming about it the other night, and I was just like, why doesn't this exist yet?
I think that game would be really, really fun, and I think what would make it especially fun is if you could have it that there's like a certain amount of like platforming with the bunny, where like say you need to get into like the gravedigger's house, and so you use the bunny to try and like climb up through a window, and then you get to see his little feet like kicking as he's trying to climb up something. I specifically just want it for that animation of the bunny like kicking his feet.
If
Trying to
only.
climb something.
That'd be so cute. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I am the worst, I wrote down 2, and I'm not sure I'm gonna name them both. You already banned me from choosing the Wizarding World RPG again, so
You already did that one.
I know. So instead, I'm gonna choose an idea that I've had for a very long time, and I've wanted for a very long time, and it's just not happening. There was a while there before they announced Anthem. I thought for sure that BioWare's new game was going to be this. I thought it was going to be a superhero RPG. Ooh. I want that more than anything else. I want an RPG where you play as a superhero, and you even have the choice to split off and become a villain, because it's an RPG. It's all about your choices. And you make choices, and depending on them, your powers kind of change and mutate. And so like you get kind of different abilities depending on what you've done in the story. Mm-hmm. And you can choose to be good or evil, and you're fighting alongside other heroes, or you're like, no, I'm a lone wolf, and you go off by yourself. But I just want a superhero RPG. We've had some superhero games. I mean, there's Infamous, sure. Mm-hmm. But like superhero RPGs, the only ones that I can think of that aren't MMOs, it's basically just South Park, The Fractured But Whole. I don't think I can think of any others.
When you were talking, I started thinking about Saints Row.
Technically, yeah.
I'd say it got pretty close.
I'd say that Saints Row 4 and a little bit of 3, just like the DLC
But you're
from 3.
describing something with more choice.
Yeah, I want something that's a little bit more choice-based. And like South Park, that partially scratched my itch just a little bit, because like since they're kids and they're playing like make-believe kind of thing, it has this like grandeur while also being kind of silly and kind of grounded and fun. And that game was really amazing. But now I want the grown-up version, you know? Mm-hmm. I want, and not just grown-up humor, I want like the actual grown-up one with real superheroes, really like fighting bad guys and saving Gotham or wherever. Mm-hmm. I want that so badly, and I really thought BioWare was making it for a little while. And like I'm excited for Anthem. Obviously, I'm really upset that I can't get it. But when they announced it, I was a little bit sad that it wasn't what I was hoping for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would do it so well.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. I want it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. And now this is just a couple of short questions that we're going to burn through. And so not all of them are on the little itinerary. Sorry.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. I just decided to sort of bring them over from... Okay. The first question is, rage quitting, yes or no?
Yes.
No. I already told my story of rage quitting before, when I rage quit on A Link to the Past, and I threw my controller and it hit the reset button.
Oh.
And since that point, I vowed never to rage quit ever again.
Yeah.
Well, that's the question. Because...
Not like with like, you know, true vehemence. Just like the most I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, just instead of turning us off the nice way, I'm going to go press the power button on the machine. That's my version of rage quitting.
Because that's the thing, is I've heard a few different definitions of rage quitting. There's some people don't really consider it a proper rage quit unless it's your way of getting out of a loss with somebody remotely. Where it's like you're fighting someone and you realize that they're going to beat you, so you shut off the machine so that you don't lose the game and they don't win it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I've never even thought of that, doing that.
I have never thought about doing that either, and I think it's because I'm not a jerk.
Yeah.
To me, that just sounds so... Like, when I've heard the term rage quit applied to that,
Yeah.
but I primarily have actually heard the term rage quit just applied to exactly what it sounds like. Where, like, you get so angry that you just have to stop playing the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how
And-
I imagine it. And yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know that I've ever really done that. I remember at one point after, because fighting Manus in Dark Souls,
You seemed like you were gonna rage.
I was mad. But the thing is that I think if it had been one of those situations where I was trying for hours and hours and hours and I couldn't beat him, then I could see myself getting really, really angry with that particular fight. But as it is, I think I beat him on like my 6th run.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of those battles that was horrible. I just remember being so confused because every other boss battle that had been tough for me, I could at least see what my goal should be. Like I at least could see what I should be doing to try to beat this boss. And with Manus, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I got his health halfway down at one point. And why he killed me within 2 seconds at another run. Like, I don't understand what I did differently. It seems like I was just approaching it the same way that I approached every single run, which was just try not to die and scramble and hope that Sif can distract him long enough that I cannot die and I can scramble.
Yeah, and then there was that one really frustrating time where you didn't even get to Sif. You were running over there to, like, call her, and he just, like, swatted you.
That one was
and then
actually...
proceeded to just, like, play bongo drums on your corpse.
I know, and, like, that's the thing, is I was like, what is this battle? Like, I remember, that was probably the closest
That's a really funny one.
that was probably the closest I ever got to rage quitting, because I was just like, what is even happening? What am I supposed to do? This just feels like random number generator. You die different ways. But, and I still don't know how I beat him. I don't understand.
I still don't know how I beat him on my first try.
I haven't gotten to that
I
one.
don't know.
I haven't actually gotten to that battle again, and I am kind of purposefully avoiding it because in my mind I'm just like, I don't know how to beat Manus. I've beat him before, but I don't understand how that happened. It just did, and I accepted it and moved on. I know I used the pendant. That's all. That's all I can remember, is that I managed to successfully use the pendant against him.
What's funny is
that's what I remember about that fight.
What's funny is I beat him on my first try and I didn't know the pendant was there. I'm really scared to fight him again because I am 100% certain that when I beat him, it was because of luck.
It was pure luck.
Yeah, it was the random number generator, like, in my favor.
Yeah. People have said that about me and Nito, because I beat Nito on my first try. And I was
Nito's not that hard.
I know.
The only reason I had trouble with it was because of the lag. It was like,
think he was
for some reason, the game was like slowing down the whole fight with him.
I didn't think that was a difficult fight either, but everybody's telling me that it's like one of the hardest.
It's really not hard.
I don't know. Maybe it's a thing on New Game Plus, because you know how some of them like up the difficulty. Like 4 Kings is nothing on your first try.
You beat him on New Game Plus pretty easily, didn't you?
4 Kings?
No, Nito.
Nito? I haven't. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
I
did.
did. That's right.
Yeah, because you're stuck on the 4 Kings.
No, it's not a New Game Plus thing then, because Neo was really easy.
You beat him really easily
both times.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, the point is rage quitting.
Yes.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, never done it, but I get it. Like I've been to the place where I sympathize with people.
But you mean single player rage quitting?
Yeah, single player
not
rage
multiplayer rage quitting.
No, just raise pause. Just rage pause at that
Yeah.
point. Don't turn off the machine. Maybe just don't go into a match right away. Maybe take a walk.
Yeah.
Have a glass of water.
Yeah.
Talk to a loved one.
I've never even. Well, I don't really play enough multiplayer to even consider rage quitting on someone. The closest I ever came. This is actually a really embarrassing story. It probably seemed like I was rage quitting from the person's end, but it wasn't. It was embarrassment quitting. So I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and it was the first time I ever played it, and I was just like, I'm just gonna test it out and see how it goes. And I was messing around by myself for a while, and then I realized that I had no money and I couldn't do anything. So I was like, okay, I'll go do one of the multiplayer jobs, you know? So I picked that up, and we get split off into 2 teams, and we're supposed to go kill some, like, drug dealers or something. And me and the other person on my team, for a second, we have, like, a little, like, courtesy war of who gets the driver's seat, and it's like, no, you can take it. No, okay, I'll take it. Oh, okay, all right. And so I get in the I get in the driver's
Must
seat.
have been another person from Utah.
Probably. And then the way that I drive in Grand Theft Auto is I just kind of like careen down the road and crash into people. And then once I've crashed into the people, then I jump out of the car and I shoot them. And so I tried doing that. But the problem was the person didn't know that's what I was doing. So I went careening down the road. I went to smash into the people, and they jumped out of the car. And so I ran over them and killed them. And then when I got out of the car, I got shot dead. And so we lost within about 15 seconds.
Embarrassment quit.
Embarrassment quit. I was like, I'm not doing that again. And I just exited the thing and turned off Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's the last time I played it. It was so pathetic.
Leroy Jenkins.
I was like, if Leroy Jenkins had some like self-awareness and realized, oh crap, I just killed everyone. Now I'm really embarrassed about it. I'm gonna never play this game again or talk to any of these people. So that's what it was like.
Oh, that's great.
Erin, what are your rage quit stories?
Oh gosh. Mostly from when I was young and didn't quite know how to control my temper, so that was pretty embarrassing. Mostly multiplayer stuff. But lately, I don't know, I don't rage quit as much because games have easy mode now. And it's wonderful.
It's just easy mode. Just flip it
So
on.
yeah, last time I rage quit was probably Dark Souls or Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
My husband Zach is an a-hole and told me that I had to win the race against what's-his-butt
Oh,
at
what?
the very beginning.
You don't.
So I lost a million times because the controls are so crappy. Like the jump is
What the
my gosh.
hell's that?
I know.
I don't want to make you feel bad, but our mom beat him.
What? No.
She
The
did.
controls are
She
terrible.
rarely ever plays video games, and this was before she ever played Until Dawn or Nancy Drew.
Oh my gosh.
But Lainey couldn't beat Riku, and she really wanted to, and so she handed the controller to her mom, and her mom beat him on the first try.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
I'm sorry. She just like watched Lainey show her the course. Lainey was just like, you just go this way and this way and this way and then back. And she was like, okay. And then she just beat him. And Lainey was like,
What the heck? Yeah, I was super mad. I didn't find out until like 2 or 3 weeks later.
yeah.
And I was like, you are the biggest jerk. You saw me rage so hard on that stupid race. Because the jump button is...
That jump button is really
the jump
laggy.
button is so laggy because it's such an old game. And I was so mad.
Zach just standing in the doorway holding his
Zach just
his
appeared
Hulk
with a solo
hand.
cup in like a rubber Hulk hand, and I don't know. It was extra funny to me for some reason
Yeah.
because the room was really dark and he looked, like he's 7 feet tall. I mentioned that a lot, but it's just really funny.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Jinx.
Oh.
He's just
No,
losing.
you can't talk for the rest of the podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna override that rule.
Oh, man.
Yes.
He's just like looming there with the solo cup.
I
It
know.
was just a good
Pretty
image.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to my daily life. It's kind of terrifying.
Wonderful.
Oh, man.
Just open the door and chest.
I just like that he was wearing the whole can. Like,
Now I know that you guys do use that.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it does get used.
Nice.
So yeah, anyway, those were probably the last time I rage quit.
Beautiful.
You know, to be fair, our mom is pretty good at video games.
Yeah.
She hasn't played them very much,
Uh-huh.
but she's
When she
pretty
does
good.
play them, she's a little bit of a natural.
And she only lost Matt in Until
That's
Dawn.
really impressive.
Yeah,
So.
she's got a good sense of narrative. And she likes those Nancy Drew games, but I actually feel like the thing that's hardest for her are puzzles.
Yeah.
And especially, she has a really hard time understanding that, like, as far as gameplay goes, they don't give you anything that you don't need.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to discount clues and stuff because she just doesn't feel like it's important.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, they make this real easy. That piece of paper wouldn't be in the game if you didn't need it.
Yeah. I think also she needs to play something that has like an autosave, like constant autosave, because she doesn't like having to remember to save her game.
Yeah.
This segues into our next question. Did you double save as a kid?
I double save now.
Yeah.
That was the next question. Is do you still double save?
Absolutely.
I have double saved my entire life.
Do you sit through the credits?
Oh, every time. The whole time.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Yeah. I've sat through all of the credits since... I actually can't remember which game I beat first, Zelda Ocarina of Time or Prince of Persia, but I distinctly remember sitting through all of the credits on both of those. So,
I remember sitting
Since the
through the
first time.
credits on Zelda Ocarina of Time and just crying.
yeah.
And Mom being like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was like, it's just so beautiful.
I remember sitting through the credits of Prince of Persia and being like, wow, that was really great. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, did my character have a name? And then I was just really confused for the next little while.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, you know, the games, there's so many people who work on them and so much effort goes into them. And, you know, the least I can do is sit there and stare at all their names.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
wanna-
for a very long time, depending on the game.
Yeah, I want to give
freaking
every name its, you know, minute on the screen
Yeah.
or whatever. But I also just feel like it's nice to take a few minutes to process
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely.
once you beat it.
I think the one time, though, that I wished I didn't have that kind of thing where I feel like I have to just sit through all the credits was when I beat Horizon Zero Dawn, because I beat it at like 1:30. And then the credits were like an hour long, and I was so tired. I was lying on my bed just like watching the credits going, just going, can I go to sleep now? Like I cried through the first half hour of it, and then their last half hour I was just like, okay.
Like, still going?
It was so long.
They were really long.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Okay.